Your Jeep may be tracking far more than your location. Hidden deep inside menus you've probably never opened are privacy settings that quietly share your driving habits, phone data, voice recordings, and more. Most owners have no idea they even exist. Today, I'll show you the 10 privacy settings smart Jeep owners disable immediately, and the final one is the only true kill switch. Starting at number 10 is the Location Services toggle, and it's hidden in the weirdest place possible. First, a quick reality check. Every modern Jeep with the Uconnect 5 system, meaning your Wrangler, your Grand Cherokee, your Wagoneer, your Gladiator, your Compass, or your Renegade, has a little cell modem baked right into the dashboard, and that modem never stops talking to Stellantis headquarters. Mozilla, the group that makes the Firefox web browser, tested every major car brand for privacy back in 2023, and they flunked Jeep completely. They actually said cars are the worst product category they've ever reviewed in their entire history. So this first fix is where you start fighting back. You'd think a setting called Location Services would live inside some kind of privacy menu, right? Nope, that isn't where Jeep put it. They actually stashed this one under Sirius XM Setup. Yeah, the radio menu. That isn't a typo. Owners on the JL Wrangler Forums forum posted screenshots of the exact spot back in October of 2023, and it blew people's minds because nobody was hunting through the radio menu looking for a privacy toggle. So go into Settings, then Sirius XM Setup, and you'll find a little on-off switch tucked inside. That switch controls whether your Jeep is constantly beaming your GPS location back to the company. Flip it off right now. However, Stellantis' own privacy policy admits that turning this one toggle off does not actually stop everything. The Wi-Fi hotspot still uses your location, emergency services still use it, Vehicle Finder still uses it, and even the navigation system still uses it in the background. So this is fix 1, not the finish line. Still, it kills the biggest chunk of everyday tracking, and it takes about 10 seconds to do. And you might be wondering, what does the actual finish line look like? Stay with me on this. Number 1 is the real kill switch, and it's the setting Stellantis absolutely does not want you to know about. Number 9 lives inside the Jeep app itself, and it's a straight-up insurance trap. When you first download the Jeep app so you can start your car from your phone or unlock the doors from the couch, a little privacy pop-up flashes across the screen the very first time. Almost everybody taps accept without reading a single word, because who actually reads pop-ups? However, that little box is where you agree to share your driving behavior data with, quote, third parties. And guess who counts as a third party? Insurance companies. This is the exact loophole that got a Chevy Bolt owner named Ken Dahl in trouble back in 2022. A data broker called LexisNexis sent Ken a 258-page report about his own driving. It logged 640 of his trips. Start times, end times, every hard brake, every fast takeoff. His insurance rate jumped 21% almost overnight, out of nowhere. And another driver named Tamika Clay saw her premium skyrocket 80% after her car quietly shared 603 trips with the same kind of broker. So the fix is simple, thankfully. Open the Jeep app, dig into privacy preferences, and decline everything you see in there. Owners on the Jeep Gladiator forum have posted the exact screens if you get stuck. However, there's a catch owners keep pointing out, and you'll see it come back to bite you again in the very next setting, because Jeep really doesn't make this easy. Rolling into number 8, we've got Drive Alerts. Drive Alerts is a paid Jeep Connect add-on that basically turns your car into a snitch on wheels. It watches your speed, your location, and the exact time of day you drive. That thing even lets someone set boundary zones and curfews around your car. Now, on paper, this whole feature is marketed as a nice way for parents to check on their teenage drivers, which sounds totally reasonable, right? However, the exact same driving data, meaning your speed, your takeoffs, your braking, your steering, is the fuel that powered the entire insurance data broker. Scandal that blew up in 2024. When journalist Kashmir Hill at the New York Times broke this story on March 11th of 2024, she showed how car makers were quietly funneling this driving score data straight to insurance companies through brokers like LexisNexis and Verisk. And in January of 2025, the Texas Attorney General filed a lawsuit that specifically named Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, Fiat, and Ram brands as data sources feeding into that pipeline. So if you're signed up for any drive alerts, driver score, or safety score feature, unenroll it right now. Log into your Jeep Connect account online and rip the whole thing out. Every hard brake it records is another data point that can be sold to somebody. And while we're on the topic of stuff being sold behind your back, wait until you hear what your car's own health reports are quietly up to. Number 7 is where they hide vehicle health reports. Vehicle health reports sound harmless at first. They actually sound almost helpful. Every month or so, your Jeep runs a little check on itself and sends you an email that tells you if your oil is low or if a tire pressure sensor is acting up. Cute little service, right? But it turns out you're wrong all over again. Those reports pack a boatload of engine, battery, transmission, and driving pattern data, and that whole bundle gets pushed straight to Stellantis. From there, it can flow out to dealers, marketing partners, and pretty much anyone else on their vendor list. Stellantis' own connected services policy literally says you can opt out of vehicle health reports through your account, and they even list it as an example. However, the default setting is switched on, so they're basically banking on you never noticing that it's running in the background every single month. Log into your Jeep Connect account online, hunt down the vehicle health reports toggle, and switch it to off. You'll still be able to check your own tire pressure and oil life right on the dashboard whenever you want. You just won't be broadcasting your car's medical chart back to headquarters every 30 days. And once you kill that data stream, you'd think the microphones inside your cabin would finally be quiet, right? However, the next setting proves your Jeep is very much still listening in on you. Quick pause. If you're serious about keeping your Jeep reliable for years, check out my Jeep guide linked below. It covers maintenance, common failures, and simple things you can do to avoid expensive repairs. That brings us to number 6, which is your voice recognition data. Every single time you press that little voice command button on the Uconnect 5 steering wheel and say something like, "Call Mom" or "Navigate to the mall," your Jeep records that audio clip. Stellantis' own privacy notice puts voice data right there in its collected list under, quote, audio, electronic, and visual information. So yeah, there's a live microphone parked inside your cabin, and it can absolutely send what it hears back to the company. Now, inside the actual Uconnect voice menu, there's basically nothing you can do about it directly. You can change the wake word if you want. Then you can toggle barge in on or off. That's about it. There's no delete button, and no auto erase timer either. So how do you actually kill the recordings that already exist? You have to leave the car entirely to do it. Go to Stellantis' OneTrust web portal and file a data deletion request through their form, or pick up the phone and call the FCA Data Protection Office directly at 1-866-22-16871. That is the only real way to wipe your voice history off their servers. It's a pain, but it genuinely works. And if you thought voice data was uncomfortable, wait till you hear who else is quietly listening from inside your Jeep right now. Number 5 is Amazon Alexa sitting right inside your dashboard. If you've got a newer Jeep, and you actually took the time to link Amazon Alexa to your Uconnect system for hands-free shopping or reminders, congratulations. You just handed a second company access to everything you say inside the car. And Alexa built-in is supported on a huge chunk of Jeep's lineup, including the 2021 Grand Cherokee L, the 2022 Wagoneer and Grand Wagoneer, and Wrangler models from 2018 forward. Mozilla actually called this one out specifically in their Big Car report. Their exact advice was, and I'm quoting them directly, "Do not use Amazon Alexa in your car if you're worried about Amazon collecting voice requests, IP addresses, and location, then using that data to target you with ads." That's Mozilla speaking, not some random blogger with an axe to grind. So Alexa inside your Jeep basically becomes a second layer of spying, piggybacking on top of the spying your car is already doing on its own. The fix is thankfully pretty simple. Go into the Uconnect apps menu, find Alexa built-in, and unlink your Amazon account entirely. If you set it up through the Amazon app instead, cancel permissions on that side too. That's one less corporate microphone parked in your dashboard. However, that's still not the scariest data leak in your Jeep, because the next one turns your own phone against you. Coming in at number 4 is your synced phone data, and it's the scariest one so far by a mile. The second you pair your phone with your Jeep over Bluetooth, the head unit starts hoovering up your data instantly. It grabs your contacts, your call logs, and every single one of your text messages. All of it lives inside your car's memory now. And Privacy for Cars, a company that studies exactly this stuff for a living, found something wild in their research. They found out that Chrysler, Dodge, BMW, Mazda, Ford, Lincoln, and about 20 other brands are silent or unclear about whether they actually grab data from paired phones, meaning nobody outside those companies genuinely knows how much of that phone data actually leaves the car. That data also sits on the head unit basically forever unless you manually clear it yourself. So if you sell your Jeep tomorrow, the next owner can literally scroll through your contacts and read your old text messages. That isn't paranoia, it's genuinely happened, and Privacy for Cars has written about it over and over. The fix comes in two parts. First, when you pair your phone in the first place, uncheck the boxes for contacts and messages if you don't absolutely need them piped through the car. Second, before you ever sell or trade your Jeep in, go into Settings, then Reset, and hit Clear Personal Data plus a factory reset. Otherwise, you're basically gifting a total stranger your entire phone book. And that connects directly to another leak point most owners never think to shut down. Right behind that sits number 3, which is your Wi-Fi hotspot. Your Jeep comes with a built-in Wi-Fi hotspot that can hook up 8 devices at once, so the kids can stream cartoons on road trips and you can answer emails from a parking lot. Sounds pretty handy, right? However, the hotspot needs your location to actually work, and Stellantis' own privacy policy makes it crystal clear that Wi-Fi is one of the services that keeps your location data flowing even after you've turned other tracking off. So even if you nailed number 10 and shut off location services in the SiriusXM menu, the second you leave the hotspot running, your GPS location keeps pumping out into the network. If you don't actually use the hotspot on the regular, just kill it completely. Go into your Wi-Fi settings inside Uconnect and turn the whole feature off, not just disconnect from it. Actually shut it down at the source. And if you do genuinely use it, at least know that it's a location leak by design. That isn't an accident or a glitch. Stellantis built the whole system to work exactly this way from day one. And you'd think advertising couldn't possibly reach you while you're sitting inside your own car, right? Wrong yet again, because number 2 is where they officially turn you into a marketing profile. Almost done, and number 2 is your advertising ID. Stellantis literally runs targeted advertising using device IDs, advertising IDs, and location signals pulled straight from your Jeep and its apps. They say it themselves right there in their privacy notice, so this isn't a conspiracy theory. Stellantis even admits it builds, quote, inferences to reflect an individual's preferences, characteristics, predispositions, behavior, attitudes, and abilities. Read that one twice. Your car is helping build an actual personality profile of you as a human being. However, they do offer an opt-out, thankfully. It's called Manage Your Privacy Choices, and if you live in California or Virginia, you also get a state-level opt-out from the sale and sharing of your data on top of that. So go to the Chrysler brand privacy page online, find the Manage Your Privacy Choices link, and hit Decline on everything related to targeted advertising. Then, and this part matters a whole lot, send in the OneTrust request that says, do not share or sell my covered data. Do both, not just one, because one opts you out of ads. The other tells them to stop trafficking your info to third parties entirely. And now we're at the very last one, which is the actual nuclear option Stellantis really hopes you never find out exists. The final setting is number 1, and it's the nuclear option called Cancel for Privacy Reasons. Ready for the wildest part of this whole video? Even if you flip every single toggle we just talked about, your Jeep is still sending data back to Stellantis. That isn't guesswork. Stellantis literally admits this in their own Connected Services privacy notice. The exact wording says, expiration or termination of your Connected Services subscription does not automatically stop all collection of personal data from your vehicle. So all these settings help, but they don't fully shut the pipeline down on their own. There's only one way to actually stop the sending cold. No button anywhere in the menus can do it. You have to make a phone call. You dial SiriusXM Guardian at 844-79-64827 or Vehicle Connect at 800-777-3600, and you tell the rep, and these are the magic words, cancel for privacy reasons. Not just cancel for privacy reasons. That specific phrase kills the wireless sending network inside your Jeep completely. However, and this really matters, you'll also lose emergency SOS calling, roadside assistance, the Wi-Fi hotspot, and over-the-air software updates. So it's the real kill switch, but it comes at a real cost. Only you can decide if the trade-off is worth it. That's the finish line we opened at number 10. Your Jeep knows a lot more about you than most owners realize, but now you know exactly where to look and what to turn off. If you found this video helpful, let me know in the comments which settings surprised you the most, or if you discovered one I didn't mention. Don't forget to subscribe for more Jeep tips. And if you want to keep learning, click the video on your screen right now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.